Good morning, everybody. First of all, just want to say thank you very much for spending your time with me. I'm going to be with you for about the next 40 minutes. And I'm just going to be sharing with you how I've really defined what the 7 steps are for you to be able to think digital first. I'm going to be sharing with you some tools, some templates that's going to be able to help you save time when you come to do your social media and digital marketing. There is some information on the screen there. My Twitter handle is @WVRNight. There's the hashtag, which is hashtag top drawer. So please feel free that if you feel that there's some information that you'd like to share with your audience, please feel free to tweet it whilst we go along. So, how many people here remember 1989? Who remembers 1989? Good, there's quite a few people in the room. Well, back in 1989, they sort of called it the Summer of Love again. And it was something that was quite unique that was happening around the music scene at that time. So on a Saturday evening, something that I always used to do was go to a place called South Mim Service Station. It was a place where we would have hundreds of cars that would all be meeting up, and all of those cars would be there for one particular reason. Now, at that time, I used to be a professional hip-hop dancer, so the music that I was listening to in my car was straight out of Compton by NWA. But a lot of the music that was around me was slightly different. And as I said, there was that one thing that we were waiting for, and that was to get that phone call that come through to us. So I'd be listening to my music, and then I'd hear the phone ring. And I'd lean over, I'd pick up my smartphone, and I'd say, yes, hello, okay, got the location? Great, thank you very much. That call would probably cost me about £5, because in those days, we had smartphones, and it would cost you money to receive that call. So I'd take the call, I'd know exactly where we're going, and you'd hear all the engines starting up of the cars. We'd come out of South Mim Service Station, and we'd head up the A1, probably travelling round about an hour, where we come to the turn off, turn left, and we go down the small little windy roads, where in front of us, you'd see the bright lights up in the sky. It would be from the fairground ride. But as we got closer and closer to the venue, you could feel the bass of the music. It was an illegal rave that was in the middle of a field. Now, at that time, there was a fantastic artist called Frankie Knuckles, who unfortunately passed away last year. And he had a great tune called Tears. And you could feel the bass coming through the car and, into your bones. Now, because I was a professional dancer at that time, I was fortunate enough to be able to have to go backstage. Backstage and on stage was Soul to Soul when I turned up. Now, what I'm showing you on the screen at the moment is a very simple flyer, the way the organization used to content market what they do. Dance 89, Soul to Soul. Who are the DJs? Paul Trouble Anderson. Think about who you are and what your business does and simplify that message. In Twitter, you only have 140 characters to talk about your business so that your target audience can understand what it is that you do and then go and share that message. But when you are doing that, think about telling a story. Because if you can't tell it, you can't sell it. We all have our own story to tell in regards to the reasons why we started our business. So give me an idea here. How many people here are business owners? Just let me know you're a business owner. Okay, it's probably about 50-60% of the room. You're all unique in regards to what it is that you do. Think about that message. Think about why you wanted to, what was the passion that made you want to start your business around what you're doing. So the first step I want you to do is to think about you, who you are. What is it that you're doing within your business? What are your core specialties? I used to work with Disney for 5 years, and I worked out of China for 11 years. I achieved $1 million of sales in 1 month. So selling is something that I do pride myself in doing very well. For the last 7 years, I've specialized in social media and digital marketing. So 7 years I've been understanding how to take companies and market them online. What are your specialties in regards to what you do? And think about that team that you've got to build around you. Think about those sales. Who are those companies that you want to work with that are going to be your channel partners? What are your core skills? Think about what it is that you can do and how you can apply that to your business. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. Obviously, writing is something that I've been doing for the last 7 years in regards to taking that content and putting it online. I actually wrote an article all about Google. I've got 3 different dashboards that I use from an analytical perspective to understand. The first one's all about social media, how much traffic's being driven through to my website. The second one is all about how many leads I'm generating onto my website. So how many people are signing up for something. And the third one being the acquisition. So how many sales can you get on a website? So I took those 3 dashboards, I wrote a blog about it. Google picked up that blog and then wrote about me to nearly 4 million people. So this particular thing that you're seeing on the screen at the moment was in their Google Plus account, which was to 3.4 million people. They then put it out onto their Twitter account, which is another 500,000 people. So I didn't ask Google to do that. I thought, who is an advocate online? Who can I write about online in a giving way, talking about the product, and then getting them to come and talk about me to their audience? So when you're thinking about your business, where is your target audience? Where are those companies that have your target audience that you can engage and share your content? I'm also a writer for Social Media Today, Business Community. These are all specialist industry websites that allow people to write information about that industry. Think about what you do and what you can do to share around the passion of your business. Learn to say no. This is so important. As your business grows, think about the things that are important to the business, the sales, the marketing, understanding who your next customer is going to be. Understanding that what I call the customer acquisition journey is really key to the growth of your business. So when I get an email to say, Warren, will you come and meet me for a cup of tea? I'd love to have a chat with you. Do you know what comes out of meeting? A cup of tea. Understand the reason why you want to go and take that next step so that you do get a return on your time that helps you grow the business. So really learn to say no in regards to what you're doing. Time management. Keep an eye on what you're doing. How much time are you spending in social media? I'm going to share some tools and some templates and a strategy in a little while that will show you how you can do social media in just 30 minutes a day across 5 different social networks and automate all of that to go out in just 30 minutes. Protect your time. Stay focused on the things that you're good at and bring people in around you to help you build that business. When you're thinking about communicating your message to your customers, you're going to have 2 different types of customers with your business. The first customer is going to be your direct customer, the person who's going to buy at that retail price directly from you, either from the website or if you're down at any events, whatever it might be, they're going to buy directly from you at that retail price. What is the value proposition that you're giving to that customer? That customer's interested in getting great customer service, quality product. They want to help you build a community around what you're doing. They want to engage with you as a business. What is your value proposition to your direct customer? Then you need to think about your channel partners. So if you're working with companies like Not on the High Street, you're working with Amazon, you've got organizations like Top Drawer, who I class as your channel partners. These are organizations that have your target audience. The value that you bring to that channel partner is going to be different than the value that you bring to your direct customer. That channel partner might just want a return on investment from a financial perspective. So when it comes to thinking about talking about your business, make sure you're communicating the right message to the right audience. Get that value proposition right for your business. Truly define what that looks like. Because the better that you are engaging with that person on a one-to-one basis, the more chance of you have got getting that acquisition around that company. Your business. Have you defined what it looks like? Your target customer. What does your target customer look like? When was the last time you spoke to your customers? There's a great tool that I use called SurveyMonkey, which is a free tool that will allow you to send out an email to your database and get them to tell you what it is they love, dislike, hate, whatever it might be about your business to help you get a better understanding of how to grow your business. Speak to your customers. It's really important. Your competition. Watch what they're doing. Did they launch with a new website this year? Have they shifted the way they're communicating online? Are they now using Instagram as well as Twitter and Facebook? Think about these different platforms. Understand what your competitors are doing. And I'm going to give you some tools in a minute that will actually allow you to listen into those conversations. Analyze your products. Understand the demographic of your customers. What products do you have at the moment, and what customer do they connect to? Think about that for your business. And the psychology, how do they buy? Do they want to come into your high street store and have the kinesthetic feel of your products? Or are they happy to buy online? Think about that when you define that. So I've got a client that I work with at the moment called Oak Jewelry. And I had a meeting with them around about November time. They've been going for about 3 years now. They're into some very good high-end retail brand stores. They've got a lot of nice independent stores. But they kind of lost direction in regards to where they were going, understanding who their target customer is and what products to give that target customer. So I set them a task of putting a mood board together. So on the screen here, you can see they've now broken it down into 4 styles. They've taken the products and put it into a specific section. So now, when they want to go and speak to a retailer, they're not selling the retailer the wrong product. They're making sure that when they give that retailer that product, it's going to get repeat business, because they know the retailer and they know that target audience. So by getting real clarity as a business here, you can see that they're visualizing it, they're putting the products here, understanding where they eat, what they eat, where they shop. Think about that for your business. The more laser focused that you can be for your business, the better chance that you have of getting engaged with that customer and getting that repeat business from them. Setting your business up to be socially savvy. So what I mean by that is, now you've understood your products, you've understood your business, and now you understand your customers, it's now time to take that content, those keywords, and start applying it to everything that you do. So what you're seeing on the screen here at the moment is an Excel spreadsheet, and I'll happily share this document with you. It's a document that I use with every single customer that I work with, that then allows us to understand the target customer, the business, and each individual product. So on the screen at the moment, you can see this is a target customer for a high street retailer, and she shops at Waitrose. She reads Vogue magazine. She goes to M&S Foods. We know what that target customer looks like, but the keywords that you see on the screen at the moment is what Google gives us of how that person searches online. So when you know how your target customer searches online, you can take those keywords and build it into your content marketing strategy for the business. Start with this template, then we take it through to the actual product page. So what you're seeing on the screen here at the moment is the top phase here is all the specific keywords that we've taken from this document. These are a group of keywords that we take about the business. Then we apply it to each section on the specific page. So we've got a couple of keywords here that define what the product is, who the target customer is, oversized, jumpers and long cardigans, staying focused on the target customer. We then take that and apply it to the picture. So that's the alt text on the picture. Because if you have a nice picture on your website and Google sends its robots over that picture and there's no content on that picture, it won't read it. So you've got to make sure you've got that alt text on the picture. We then put it into the SEO title. We keep keyword consistent. We then put it into the meta description, which is, the meta description is basically when you go online, you type something in and Google gives you options, it gives you the title and then gives you a description underneath that. That's called your rich snippet. You've got to stay keyword consistent and relevant to the brand. And then we take the keywords and apply it to the landing page copy. So this is something that you need to do to make sure that you are being socially savvy around the keywords, your business, and your target customer. So I recommend using about 4 keywords for your metadata. And you've got to apply this to each page. And that includes your contact page, your About Us page, your home page, and then your product pages. It's key that you apply this information. If you can't give this information to Google, how can Google give you your targeted customer? And if you're going to write blogs, I recommend about 3% of those keywords being in an article of about 400 words. And if you're going to write a blog, I recommend once a week as a minimum for this blog to be written. So keep keyword consistent, because what Google's doing, it's building a link wheel all about your business. It's looking at what content you push out onto Twitter, what images you're putting onto Pinterest, what blogs you're writing, what keywords people are typing into Google, and then Google's bringing your business up and they're clicking onto that. Google's analyzing all of this data. We have to stay keyword consistent in regards to helping you build your brand. Using tools to help you. So something that I've got to give away to everybody today. This is a complimentary e-course that I'd like to give to everybody today if they're interested. I called it a 7-day complimentary e-course because I actually did some analytical data around that, and it is an 8-day course. So on day 8, I show you how to get the top of LinkedIn in just 60 seconds. But the other 7 days are just a very simple overview in regards to social media. But the tool that I use that automates this, so if you come and get one of these from me, I get your name and email address, and then once a day, I send you an email. This is the tool that allows me to do that. You can see day 1. Day 1's all about preparation. This is an autoresponder series that allows, once you've done something once, so I wrote this content back in 2009. The only thing that's changed is the amount of people now that are on Twitter and Facebook, and Instagram's grown, and obviously Pinterest. So that's the only thing that's changed. The context hasn't changed. So think about the tools that you can use. This tool that I use is MailChimp. So MailChimp is also your email marketing tool. So when people come to your website and you give them something of value away, think about how you can capture that email address, but keep adding value to them through this autoresponder series. If you want that, come and see me afterwards. So this is a great little tool that I use. It's like a search engine for hashtags. And the reason why this is so powerful is because it helps me understand where the target audience are using that hashtag. So you can see on the screen here, I use hashtag top drawer, and you can see mainly that it's Twitter and Instagram. Now, there is some Facebook as well that comes further down the page. But if you think about your business and you'd like to understand where your audience are talking about specific keywords, use Tagboard as a search engine so that when you come to spend time in Twitter or spend time in Facebook, you know that's where your target audience hang out. So Tagboard's a free tool to use. I've noticed quite a few people actually making notes. This presentation will be going live in about 20 minutes time on my Twitter account. So if you'd like to get a copy of this and then go and view it whenever you want, just follow me on Twitter at WVRKnight, and then it automatically is being pushed out in exactly sort of at 12:30 in about 20 minutes time. So you can always get a copy of this presentation. The next free piece of software that I use is called Feedly. So I send out a minimum of 5 tweets a day. So where can I get that content from? Well, I go online, I put in certain keywords, I come across bloggers, I come across websites, I come across online newspapers that are talking about things within my industry. I can then take that information and put it into this tool called Feedly. Because then what it does is I can take the information and I've got various different categories that I've got set up here. So depending on the type of content that I want, that I'm reading, I can take that and put it into a specific category. So if you're focusing on jewelry or homewares or cushions or whatever it might be, you can set up these categories and then you can use Feedly to go and search for articles or automatically put articles in yourself. The reason why I use this tool is because every time I go to Feedly, it's automatically updated the latest blog. So this particular blog was written 1 hour ago. This blog was written 21 hours ago. This blog was written 1 day ago. So I'm consistently pushing out fresh content online by sending 5 tweets a day, and I come straight to Feedly to give me that content. I don't have to go and search for it. Does that make sense to everybody? It's a great way for you to be able to help you save time. So that's a really good tool to use. Hootsuite. How many people are using Hootsuite at the moment? Okay, there's only a few people. So this, the document that I sort of shared with you earlier, I use Hootsuite to understand how my target audience likes to listen from me. This started out as a free 7-day guide. So I use Hootsuite to put the information in. I shrink the link, so there's a little link here. I shrink the link using Hootsuite because it's got an analytical tool built into it. And then I scheduled it to go out at a certain time of day. So Monday, 9 o'clock, Tuesday, 11 o'clock, Wednesday, 1 o'clock. So I pushed it to go out. In the space of 30 seconds, I pushed 7 days worth of content out, And I tracked it because of the Hootsuite link. So I tracked that. Free 7-day guide. I had a few click-throughs and a few conversions. I changed it to a complimentary 7-day guide. Again, I had more click-throughs, but I didn't have any more conversion around that. When I changed it to a complimentary e-course, I had 3 times as many people clicking on it. I had twice as many people signing up. So now I know when I have some content, so when Feedly tells me there's a guide that I push out, I change the title to say e-course or to say complimentary, because that's how my audience likes to listen to content that I push out. Understand what your audience is doing. What it also allows you to do, you can see that it's got some streams here. So this middle stream here, I've done the same thing that I did with tag boards. I can listen in to every single conversation that's happening about Top Drawer in real time. If you think about that for your business, think about your competitors. Take your competitor's Twitter handle and save it as a stream. If they've got customers that are unhappy with their customer service, it gives you an opportunity to market your business to them. If there's conversations that are happening online around your industry, use the hashtag and listen into what's happening. Because then you can just click on it, you can then compose a message, and you can schedule that message to go out tomorrow morning if you're viewing it at 10 o'clock at night. So it's a great tool to use. It schedules information out. It hits across 4 different social networks: Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, and Facebook. 4 different social networks. You can schedule your messages to go out just like that. How many people like the idea of Hootsuite now? Very good, excellent. And it's, you know, it doesn't cost an awful lot of money, but it's a great tool to use. So, here's another little template that I would like to share with you. This is my marketing template. I don't do anything more than a 90-day marketing plan. That is the maximum amount of time that I put into a marketing strategy. I know what my go-to-market strategy is for the business over a 12-month period. But in regards to what you're doing around real time, think about it from a 90-day perspective. If you're looking at running a competition, look at the time of year, the season, the events that are going on, and go, I'm going to run this competition in January, this one in February, and this one in March. It helps you keep brand consistent around pushing that message out. If you have other members in the team, this can be a very simple Google Doc, or it can be, you can put it onto Dropbox so that everyone collaboratively can know what's happening within the business. So think about all the ways that you're going to market the business and simplify it in 90 days. Because the next thing that you want to do is to define what you want to talk about. So now you know what the marketing is going to be for that month. Now you want to talk about what you're going to say. So as I mentioned, what you're looking at on the screen at the moment is 5 tweets a day. So for this particular global brand, tweet number 1's a product. Tweet number 2 might be talking about the people within the business. Tweet number 3 could be about the competition. Tweet number 4 would be another product. And tweet 5 would be about global news. So when they want to push out content about the global news, you go to your Feedly account, push the content out. So you're defining what you're going to be saying, the context of it, not the actual final content. Does that make sense? You've got an overview of what you want the business to be. You'll also notice there's specific hashtags. We do not step outside of the box for those hashtags. When somebody finds us about our brands, we use those hashtags to define the category or the product or what we're doing. So now this is a template. Now, what I use is, I've got a couple of virtual assistants that work for me. My virtual assistants cost me $4 an hour. I've got one that specializes in off-site SEO, and the other one that works with my channel partners and getting me more bookings for speaking. I use them for different reasons, but they cost me $4 an hour. So I trained this company's virtual assistant to do this document, but they need a template to work from first of all. You've got to define, as the business owner or the marketing manager, what content you want to push out. Because then when you start pushing that content out on a daily basis, this is a document that I use for 7 days. So I put together 7 days worth of content in 35 minutes. 35 minutes it took me. I've now trained the virtual assistant to do it in 1 hour. So imagine being able to do 7 days worth of content in 1 hour for that then content to be pushed out across all those social networks. I've mentioned 4 that Hootsuite use. If you want to push it out onto Pinterest, there's one called Viral Route that allows you to schedule it to go out. If you want to use it for Instagram, you've got Schedulegram, which then, again, will allow you to push that content out and for it to be automated. So doing this 7 days a week took me 1 hour for 7 days worth of content to be automated out online, because we've defined the brand, we've defined the business. So to show you how to do it for 30 minutes a day, if you break down that 1 hour over the 7 days, it's around about 9 minutes. So even though you're doing it all in one go in that 1 hour, it's around about 9 minutes a day that it breaks down to. So you've pushed 7 days worth of content out. Spend just 3 minutes going back in and seeing if somebody's retweeted that comment, so you can go and have a conversation with them. Just jump back in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Hootsuite has a really nice app to use for your mobile phone. Retweet relevant content. So I have a stream of all my influencers. So if somebody online has spoken about something that's relevant to my audience, I'll go and retweet it. Spend a couple of minutes doing that a day. Follow 5 people. So a very quick strategy for everybody here. If I'm going to be speaking at Top Drawer, and if I go to Top Drawer's Twitter account, probably quite a few of you are following Top Drawer. I'll go to their Twitter account and I'll start following you. Think about where your target audience are and start following people in that target audience. And then analyze that data. So I said Hootsuite allows you to analyze it, but this is the dashboard where Google spoke about me to 4 million people. This is a dashboard that tells me the amount of traffic that comes through from the relevant social networks. So at the very top is Twitter, at the very bottom is Facebook. Where do I spend my time? If all the traffic's coming from Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, that's where I spend my time, engaging with my audience. So by analyzing that data, it helps you save time and helps you stay focused on the business. How many people here have heard of Growth Accelerator or Growth Vouchers? Growth Accelerator, Growth Vouchers? Okay, very quickly, Growth Accelerator has got £200 million to give away to companies like you to come and work with people like me. They give you cash to work with coaches to help you grow your business. I've got 25 companies that I worked with last year under Growth Accelerator. Some of them have achieved over 500% increase in sales. Some of them have doubled their turnover. Some of them, they've gone from being in the red to being in the black from a cash flow perspective. This is what you can do to help you grow your business. So Growth Accelerator is great. Growth Vouchers is another scheme that allows you to get £2,000 worth of funding for your business to get that advice. If you'd like to know more about this, I'll happily have a conversation with you afterwards. The very last thing that I want to share with you is I've taken my 22 years of being in business, growing companies, building business £1 million in less than 2 years, helping companies grow, and I've written a book about it. But in the way that helps you think about your online customer, to help you be more socially savvy around what your business is doing. The book's going to be available in a couple of weeks' time. If you are interested in the book, I'm also giving away 50 ways to drive traffic through to your website. I was going to put that into the book, but I thought, well, it's quite a lot of content and it would be more than 200 pages. So if you're interested in the book, again, please come and see me and I'd love to be able to share that with you. Thank you.